Hey everybody, Zee Garcia here, and today we're taking a look at a small puzzle-style game from HABA called Finden? Finden? Or maybe Penta Rush. One of those. In this game, each player is given one of these boards. You are going to roll some dice. You are going to mark some things on here with a dry erase marker. You're erasing the other players in order to find patterns and score those patterns. You get the most points, you win. That's it. Very short, very simple, 5 little rounds of this, and the game is over. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at how this works. I'll explain it a little more in depth, and then we'll come on back up here, and I'll tell you what I think of it. To set up the game, we are going to give each player one of these boards. We've got here the rest of them, and you can play on this side with the white edge. They're all distinct. Or you can play on this side where they're all identical if you want everyone to be evenly matched, or you want to make it a more interesting challenge, everyone looking at the same puzzle, if you would. So everybody has one of those. We'll set these out. We've got our dice. We've got the scoring board, and everybody gets one of these dry erase markers. So, everybody will put their name up here, like so, A, B, and Z, and then you are off to the races. So, you're going to play 5 rounds. You'll score each one. The final round, the score is doubled, and then the total will, of course, give you a winner. So, somebody will take all these dice, and you are going to roll them. If you roll 3 of a kind, you will re-roll some of those, or you can just, I guess they say pick them up and re-roll them all until you don't have 3 of a kind. 2 of a kind is fine. 3, not okay. And then once that's done, everyone will race at the same time to find that pattern, or one of these patterns, using those colors on here, okay? So I have orange, orange, yellow, and both blues. Fine. So I could, for example, do orange, orange, yellow, and both blues right there, okay? Every group of 5 will exist out here somewhere, though some you'll see are worth more than others. And I can find up to 5 patterns, so I can do it up to 5 times, though I cannot repeat the same one. You can, of course, mirror this, you can rotate it however you want to, and you do not take these. Those are going to be used for scoring. So everyone's doing this simultaneously. I'm finding that one. Orange, orange, yellow, both blues. Let's see. I can do this one right here. Okay, that's a new pattern. Eventually, someone flips this over and starts that timer. That person is done. And everyone else has as much sand as is left in here to do anything else they can't. Let's see. What can I do here? Orange, orange. Yellow, both blues. I can do this one. There we go. And then let's say, okay, time's over. I'm done. Everybody will score. So, how do you do it? You can use these to help you out if you so choose. I have this one here. Everyone will check it. That is correct. So that's 2 points. We can put that there. This one's also correct. That's worth 1 point. And then this one is correct, and that's going to be worth 4 points. If you're the one who flipped the sand timer, you're going to get 1 bonus point. So that nets me 4, 5, 6, 7 points right there. And this player got 6, and this player got 9 somehow. I'm not sure. I have to watch them a little more closely, I think. So there we go. Then we get rid of these. Obviously, you put them back in the pool for the next person's score. You're not removing them from the pool or anything. You can wipe this down, and we re-roll, and we do it again. There it is, and everybody races to do it. During the final round, like I said, you'll score all of these that you actually made double. If you mark down more than 5, you are penalized by not scoring your highest scoring one. And also, you cannot use, like I said, the same thing twice, so you'll be penalized for that. But that's all there is to it. You can also play a solitaire version of this, where you're just trying to solve the puzzle, if you would. So, there you go. Let's go ahead and go back up top. Let me tell you what I think of it. One strange thing right off the bat about this game is that the rulebook comes in English and in French. And you can just flip it over, and one side's English, one French. But the English side says Finden, which I assume that's what that means, and I assume that's meant to be in German. That's in English. The French side says Penta Rush. Perfectly appropriate name in English. So I'm not sure why that's not the title in English. Also, I don't know if this is meant to be primarily the English version of this game. It does have other things in English, like Game Night Approved on the cover, years, players, yet the title is in German. I don't know. That seems strange to me. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. This is mainly a game for kids, so I'll try to look at it through that lens, all right? We're going to start with the theme. There is no theme here in this game. For once, I do not think, and not for once, I've thought this before, but I don't think that's a problem in this one. I honestly think if they had gone with little, that's a candy. Purple is a little bat, and red's a little candy, and orange is some citrus, that would be really distracting. I'm glad that it looks just like that. So great job not trying to add a theme to this puzzle. Kudos to the company for that one. The aesthetics are very clean, again, and they're good components in here. These are very nice. They work out well. Timer's nice, simple, doesn't get stuck, works out all right. And then the dry erase boards, and these are also made from the same material as the dry erase boards. So you can put them on the boards, they can move them around, then you can wipe them down if they get a little gunk on them. Great. Dice are fine. They are wooden dice. I know some people don't like wooden dice because they're a little light. And some of the icons are a little off-center on some of these sides, but they are indented a bit. They might wear off with a lot of play, but they are indented a little bit. So it's a nice touch. I don't have any problems with the components here. Next up, we've got the replay value, and I think this is where the game starts to suffer. You are playing 5 rounds. They are identical rounds. There is no spies to change one round from the next. There is nothing you build upon from a previous round to an upcoming round. There is nothing different. This is 5 rounds because I assume the designer felt 5 rounds was appropriate. It could have been 1, it could have been 20. It doesn't matter. Nothing is different except the little pizzazz of you scored double for the final one. So the problem with the replay value is if one of your kids is much better at this game than another one, that other kid is not going to be having a great day. You're just going to get crushed every time. There's no balancing this for a group of mixed abilities. The replay value here is very low. It's also, this game very much feels like one of those activities in like an activity book that you would sit down on the couch with the big, 100-page book, and you open it to one, they say, find this shape. All right, and you sit there with your pencil and you find that shape. That's this. But then they made a game around it, and you do it a bunch of times. It's still not any more replayable than that one leaf in the book. That then you turn the leaf, and now it's a word search, right? So that's how I feel about that. The game arc suffers from the same thing. No game arc to speak of. I wish there was something else in this game. A way to pull back the leader. If you're playing with there's a group of kids who are all playing this puzzle. And one of them is clearly better. I would love for there to be a little deck of cards or something that after every round, whoever is crushing it draws the top card and it gives them some little penalty. Something silly, something light. Now you have to draw the line with your other hand. Now instead of drawing a line around the 5 you found, you have to dot the way. So you have to do this. Okay, that's going to slow them down. All the other kids get to catch up if you have to put dots along the way. Oh, now, this round from score from the weakest score to the highest score, and those players get to keep one of these on their board. The higher scores, the later players, the higher scores don't get one. Something. I'm not a game designer, but a little something would have helped add some spice and some legs, some replayability, some game arc to this game. As it is now, the one who's better at spatial awareness is going to crush it. Ease of play, very high, very easy to play. There's not much to it. You can teach this in a minute, right? About. And then tactics and strategy and luck. I like that this game will help develop those things. So I'm not giving this a thumbs down, right? It doesn't get a thumbs up because there is... it's sort of like by repetition will somebody get better at this sort of, visual acuity. But it doesn't really sharpen any sort of strategic development. But you will get better at it by doing it a lot, right? So there's something to be said for that. And there is some, sort of looking for the pattern that's worth the most points, that sort of thing. But there's ultimately, this is a very one-note game/activity, and I wish there was a little more to it. As it is, I think I could see lots of people out there having a fun afternoon with this. Maybe pull it out a couple of times in the future as you have, guests over with children themselves. But overall, I just don't see this being the kind of game that becomes a classic for anyone's child out there. It just doesn't have the oomph for that, in my opinion. So this is going to get a score right down the middle of the road. It's not devoid of interest, but there could be so much more. So it's going to get a 5 out of 10 from me. If you are really into visual acuity style puzzles, if you think your child will very much enjoy this, then absolutely nothing wrong with it. Production quality is great. I just don't think the game is particularly interesting. So 5 out of 10. That's it for me, everybody. Thank you for checking this out. I'll see you on the next one.